I'm still in a relatively stable period, which I'm appreciating. The eating's been good, very consistent. I've been out for a walk pretty much every single day, which helps. Is exercise certainly helps because my body's starting to get quite stiff from lying in bed all the time, and it gives us a bit of a boost being outside and getting me heart rate up, and yeah, it does something. It's not fantastic, but it does something. It has an effect, so I keep doing it. Um, that's the main thing. That I'm being consistent with something other than lying in bed. I had a psychologist session this morning, um, and I've been feeling very overstimulated lately. That's how I describe it. Um, and even if I just lie in bed and do nothing, my brain still like just feels really overwhelmed. And when I try and like listen to music, play video games, do stuff to give it lots of stimulation, it still doesn't help. I know it sounds counterintuitive, giving my brain more stimulation, but it's almost like my brain's craving dopamine. So I try and give it the dopamine it needs, but it's like there's nothing there, and it's like hitting a brick wall. Um, and my psychologist thinks that's because I spend so much time in this room, in these same four walls. Your brain craves kind of intimacy and socializing and being outside. And the thing is, with being outside, it's so cold out here lately. I try and sit outside, and it's not fun. Um, and driving still iffy. I had a doctor's appointment last week, which I drove to, which I never normally do, and me driving was just I was very rusty, because I think I only done 200 miles in my car in the whole of last year, which is not a lot at all. So I feel like my concentration and the sharpness driving's deteriorating, and it makes it not too fun. Um, and I don't really enjoy driving anymore. I used to, but with a dissociation, it just makes things more difficult than it needs to be. So I tend to avoid driving. Whereas driving's important around here because everywhere I would want to go is a drive away. I'm still not feeling 100% physically to actually walk super far. I tend to stick to very close areas like the cemetery, which is literally 2 minute walk away. So yeah, but that's difficult. And the reason I went to the doctors is about the wheezing. I wanted to have that looked into. They listened to me lungs, took me blood oxygen levels, heart rate, all that stuff, and the doctor I seen was a different one than usual, and she said she specialised in lung stuff, which was handy. She said she doesn't think it's asthma what's going on, because I explained like when I laugh and stuff like that, I can bring it on, or like exercise can bring it on sometimes, and stress in particular, and she didn't seem overly concerned. She just said keep an eye on it and come back if it keeps getting worse. But yeah, she didn't think it was asthma. She didn't seem super worried. I mean, it's frustrating that there wasn't much more in terms of answers because I'm having to refrain from exciting stuff which will trigger stuff like that off a wheezing. Laughing I tend to avoid. So it's like, I know it sounds ridiculous avoiding those things, but once a wheezing starts, it takes forever to disappear, and it really knocks us. So yeah, that's something that's going through my brain. But at least I went to the doctors and got it checked, I guess. She was trying to get us to take the venlafaxine because I still haven't took that. Maybe I just think it's all the anxiety triggering off. But even when I'm not anxious, the wheezing happens. So I know it can do weird things to your body, but that's something there. Other things as well. I potentially might be moving out. Renting a place with a dude I used to work with a couple of years ago. he's wanting to move out with his parents. I'm kind of thinking I should move out so I can kind of become a bit more independent. Because the reason I don't go out of my bedroom very much is because my parents smoke and they smoke in the house downstairs, so the air's not too good down there, and yeah, I'm really sensitive to smell and stuff. Um, and they're very stuck in the ways, so they're not going to change anything. And I just want to move out to be more independent, have a new environment, and just feel less watched. That's how I feel. I feel like yeah, just I don't feel very independent at the moment. And my psychologist really wants to try moving out. It's very daunting though, because I don't know how I'll react. Like that's a lot of responsibility on me. Like living with someone else, having to manage a house, kind of on my own in a way. Um, but yeah, it's a possibility. It's been mentioned. It could happen, but I'm not making any guarantees. It'll be nice though. It would be nice. Money wise as well, I could make it work. I could make the rent and that work. With the money I receive at the moment. But this got us thinking, because I received my pay slip, because I'm still on a official career break from work, so I still get pay slips. I don't get paid, but it's for administrative purposes. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, I worked so hard. Since I was 15, I've worked my balls off to try and get the kind of job that I technically have now, but I'm too sick to work at it. And it's like shit ton of money, $3,000 a month I'd be on if I had that job. I get like a third of that at the moment, which I'm grateful that I get, but like that salary from that job could be the house, owning my own house, freedom to do whatever the hell I want, kind of, like I wouldn't feel as restricted. Like at the minute I'm kind of, I don't know, I just don't feel like I have the financial freedom. Obviously I'm very grateful and lucky that I have this situation that I have in terms of getting money for being sick. I know some people don't even get that, but it's just very difficult seeing like something you've really worked hard for, goals you set and that you actually achieved from working hard, and it was like really hard to get this job, like so hard. And when I ended up on the sick for like 3 or 4 months, a couple of years ago, then that allowed us to ease back into the job. They gave us reduced hours on full-time pay, helping us along the way. I lasted 9 months, had another breakdown, ended up on the sick, and I haven't been back to work since October 2021. So I can only have a maximum of 2 years of a career break, so I've only got until February 2024. Yeah, February next year until it ends, and then if I'm not back by then, I'll lose a job. I'll lose out on everything I've really worked for, and this very good job with really nice people. So it's just frustrating. I know it comes with the territory of having mental health issues, and yeah, I wasn't gonna mention money and stuff on here, but I try and be as open as possible, and so like I'm flexing because I don't even have the money of a job from it anyway, you know what I mean? So yeah, that stuff that goes through my head. But I'm just gonna keep moving, keep pushing, and seeing where life takes us. But honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be well enough in what, a year's time, 11 months time, to return to work. So I'll lose the job and a lot of hard work, years of hard work that went into it, And from that point, I don't know what to do, where I go. Like I don't really see any other job that I could cope with, like this office government job was perfect, mostly. If I can't do this job, I can't do any other job. Like I don't see how I'd do anything else. So it just feels like it'll be a life of kind of relying on government disability benefits and whatnot, which it's frustrating because you just have to kind of keep going on on. It's a decent amount of money, but it's not a lot, like with the way the world's going. But anyway, right, I'm done with that. Yeah, I'm doing alright. I don't know how long this has been, but it's been a nice little chat event to tell you where I'm at. Anxiety's hitting us hard tonight, but I've got through it. I got through the peak of it. This stupid app that I downloaded when the people in A&E forced us to download it. It didn't help last year because the anxiety was just so uncontrollable, but I'm finding that now I'm a bit more stable. Sitting listening to this podcast-esque app helps chill us out. It's this Irish bloke. It's called the Dare app if you're in the UK, if you want to try it. I thought I'd mention it because it's helped me. I'm not one for shit like this, but it does actually help us. So, yeah, just the anxiety was making it feel like my throat was closing up and just, yeah, breathless, like your typical symptoms, nothing out of the ordinary, but it was hitting us hard and my nervous system was just not liking us and I wasn't liking it. But the warmth's coming back, and when the warmth comes into your body again, that's how you know the anxiety's gone. And I don't feel like my throat's tight anymore, and it's a relief. It just feels like it's been going on forever. I feel trapped in this cycle. Like the last 4 years have been very bad with the anxiety and everything. And I've been suffering with it my whole life. It just recently, it's just taken hold. Like, I feel like I'm making progress, but the progress is so slow. I feel like I'm gonna die still trying to get hold of it, you know? That might sound dramatic, it's how it feels, man. Like when I think back to when I was 12 or when I had panic attacks, I'd have the same things, like I'm crying in school, going to the nurse, saying that my throat's closing up, like freaking out and all that, and similar sensations, and I don't know, it makes us look at the big picture, like this is my life, man. And it just feels very lonely because, yeah, I spend all my time in bed. I don't really do much. And it's like, why don't you just go and do something? But I do things and I don't feel anything. It just makes us more anxious and exhausted. So I come back to me comfortable spaces, me room, me house. And that's my life, like just very lonely. Like I can't maintain any degree of friendships or whatever when I'm so inconsistent in my emotions. And then it comes back to the whole job thing, moving out. Like if I was in a different environment right now, if I wasn't in me comfortable space, if I was even more overwhelmed with moving out, I think I probably would spiral more. So it puts us off the idea of moving out. Like nights like this really make us think, can I do it, you know? Yeah, it's draining, but yeah, I got through it. I got really anxious and I got through it. I know that counts for something. It's just like it's happening again. And I don't see when it stops, you know? Then there's the whole med situation that I know the doctor wanted us to take the vaccine. Thing is, that can make it even worse. Like the initial starter period, I can lose a shit ton of weight because it seems to be quite common that it causes appetite loss, and that's just a whole different ball game. You've seen in my last video, if you've seen it, the amount of suffering that went on due to us not being able to eat and losing weight. I'm always living in, not fear, but I'm always worried that that's gonna happen, and that's always in the back of my head. The degree that I suffered when I was starving. It's 2 days later, and I've been feeling a lot better. The anxiety's calmed down, and even last night I just felt really wired, and I mean that in a way of really hyper. I was dancing a bit. Not that I could feel anything in here, I just felt like really energetic. I get bursts of energy sometimes, and I'm like listening to music, like trying to exercise my body and get the hyperactive energy out of us. um, I could say I almost enjoy it. Again, the feelings aren't in here, but it's like it's something different than lying in bed and stuff like that. Um, I think the psychologist is right where she says being trapped in this room all the time can make you start to go a bit loopy. It can make you anxious, more anxious. Um, she says like some people even see things and um, like start hallucinating and stuff. I don't do that. The only time that happened was in December. One of the Decembers where I lost loads of weight. I started seeing like dark figures and stuff, and that was probably from a lack of food and being in bed literally all day, every day. Um, but yeah, like I say, the anxiety's calmed down. I got through it. It's just frustrating how it takes over, and I notice my thoughts are straight to like not wanting to be here, and it's ridiculous saying that because I'm feeling stable-ish again now. So it's like, yeah, it feels ridiculous saying that, but that's how I get. Um, I've still been going out and eating's been alright, mainly me liquids. Like lately, I go through cycles where it's a bit easier to eat solids, and then when I start to feel like I'm choking again, it gets stuck in my throat, and it's really slow. It feels like it's really slow to go down, so then it just makes it so much more difficult to eat the solids. Even if I push myself, it takes us like hours to eat like one bar, 140-gram bar, um, of like protein bar things. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know why I leave it a couple of days. I guess I get like lose my motivation when I get anxious, so I leave things, and then here I am picking it up. Because I've realised it's been like 9 days since I last uploaded, and honestly the days are going so quick. And it's quite scary how quick it goes. Like I don't know where my life's going, and there's always that thing like you're wasting it in the back of your head when you're inside so much. When I go outside though, it's like I don't feel comfortable out there. I feel like I'm being watched all the time, and I don't feel like I feel out of place when I'm outside. It's really uncomfortable. So me walks enough, and then yeah, I guess I've always felt uncomfortable outside, even before the dissociation. But the DPDR makes it even worse, obviously. So I guess I just feel a bit trapped in here, like I've said, and it gets a lot sometimes, especially when the time is going by quick and I'm spending so much time alone. But I've just got to get on with it. Like I don't know what the answers are really. I'm eating good right now. My weight's definitely going up. I feel like I'm filling out a bit on my stomach, which is really good. I enjoy seeing my ribs starting to disappear a bit. I've got some little weights I've continued to lift to keep my arms somewhat strong, and I feel like I'm getting a bit stronger with that regard. Um, slowly but surely. Um, yeah, that's all anyway. hope you're doing cushy. And I'll catch you when I next upload, whenever that is.